And we are back with another episode of From the Rafters. Sam and I are here recording on Friday, June 10th, immediately after game four of Celtics versus Warriors. Celtics falling to the Warriors. Ended up being 107-97, but it wasn't a 10-point game. It was very close up until the end where the Warriors just kind of blew everything up. I mean, Stephen Curry took over. The Celtics, throughout the course of the game, fell victim to the turnover trap that has plagued them throughout the entire postseason. We can talk about all the little stuff, but immediate reaction, Sam. I know you're not happy. I'm obviously not happy either, but
No.
immediate thoughts.
Yeah, no, this is just classic. Classic Celtics this postseason, man, beating themselves. You can say Curry had 40 points. He was excellent today. You have to give the credit to him for sure. But at the same time, the Celtics just continue to get in their own way. The fourth quarter, you're up 4 points with what, 5 minutes to go, something like that.
Yep.
Jaylen Brown's on fire. They're getting good shots. He's getting in the paint every time. And then Golden State um, puts together a 17-3 run to close the game because you continued to settle for threes. You continued to let them get second chance points. And it's just the same thing, man. It's the same thing. You need to get out of your own way. And even if you want to say Golden State took it up to another level in the fourth quarter, fine. You couldn't get out of your own way throughout the game. There was plenty of times you got the lead to 6, got it to 7, couldn't get it any further. Couldn't get the extra stop, couldn't get
Yep.
the extra basket. Took a rushed shot. Brown took a real bad layup in transition late in the third, early in the fourth, maybe to give him a chance to go up 8. Golden State immediately came down, cut it to 4. It's just small things like that that add up over the course of a game, right? And
Yeah.
and the Celtics throughout this season have been horrible in close games. Their record is not good. I don't know exactly what it is. It's not good. And you just played into Golden State's hand. You played right into it. And you can clown Draymond all you want. You can say he didn't have a statistical masterclass. I don't know if he made a shot. He made a putback dunk, I think.
One shot. Yeah.
He was impactful down the stretch. He was on the offensive glass.
It was.
This felt like I watched them play the Miami Heat again. This is the same type of loss you had in that Miami series where you just couldn't get out of your own way. The turnovers, you had 16 of them tonight. Get out of your own way. That's the theme of it. And, for you, the listener, you're lucky because Jack and I have stuff to talk about today. If they won, we would have been just, it's always easier to do these after they lose, but it's not as fun.
They actually finished with 15 turnovers. Warriors had 16. So it was even playing field in that regard. Something that didn't feel as big as the game went on, but we don't have to talk about is the free throws. Like the first half, that was brutal. You can't miss those free throws. It'd be a different game. Like you said,
I forgot
Sam.
about the free throws. I completely forgot about it. Now I'm even more mad.
I mean, you had plenty of chances. They only missed 5, which I mean, I say only, but it's not good. But it would have helped you bring that lead up to 10 or 7 or 15 or something rather than 5 and giving the Warriors a chance to be within striking distance. So, excuse me, that's brutal. I don't even know where to start. I'm very frustrated, obviously. I'd like to start with Jayson Tatum because we talked at halftime. I thought he had been awful in the first half. I stand by that, and you kind of gave me some pushback. He was terrible. I think this might have been his worst game of the series so far. I mean, you talk about turnover issues. He had 6. Everyone else had 3 or less. Which I mean, Derek White had 3. He didn't have any in the second half. He committed 6 of Boston's 15 turnovers. Sure, he had 11. He had 11 rebounds, 6 assists. It's fine. He shot terribly from the field. He shot okay from 3, but he can't make a layup. He can't make a jump shot. He's turning the ball over. He's making silly decisions. Tatum has been fine as a passer this series, fine as a defender. On offense, outside of his playmaking, though, he's been horrendous. He's been absolutely terrible so far in the NBA Finals. Jaylen Brown's been great. I've enjoyed watching him. Jayson Tatum's been an absolute mess.
Yep. And it's funny. If there was any doubt, he took it away in the second half. We discussed it at halftime, like
I
you
told
said.
you.
And I didn't think he was horrible in the first half. I thought he could have been better, but I thought he was okay. And he was big in the first quarter. The second half, he said, "Hey, Jack, you're going to be right today."
Prove me right.
He did absolutely everything he can. How many points did he have in the second half? 5? that I can remember. He made a three,
I'm
might have
waiting
made
for the
something in the
box score
paint.
to allow me to
Yeah,
sort by half. Let me check the game book. One sec.
that's
Second
annoying that you
half,
can't, because I wanted to see how
right?
many offensive rebounds and second chance
I
points
can
they
go to the
gave
game
up.
book. I can go to the game book. I have it here. Second half. You want Tatum points in the second half. He had 7 on 2 of 9 shooting.
Yeah,
That's just not
that's
going to cut
not
it.
good
It's not going
enough.
to cut it. No, not going to cut it. And how many of those were in the fourth quarter? That's my question. Fourth
3.
quarter, Tatum 3 points to 1 of 5. That's not good enough, Jason. Like you're supposed to be
They
the
weren't
best player
hard
on this
shots
team, and
that
he's
he
been
doesn't make
no.
either.
He's just been bad. He's just hasn't had his shot under him, and it's tough for me to sit here and say he's been like horrific because his playmaking's been so good. I'll give credit where it's due, but that's not what you're getting paid millions of dollars to do. And I know that's an emphasis, and you need that, but you can't have that at the sacrifice of your shooting because the Celtics need that even more. So you have to make the shots. And he hasn't done that this entire series so far. And he made shots in, I think it was game two. He had an efficient game, but he still wasn't good. Like people look at the box score and say, oh, he was somewhat efficient. His efficiency is coming from behind the three-point arc. Tatum has been absolutely horrific on two-pointers this series. He's been
Mhm,
just awful. He can't make a layup. He's flailing his arms trying to go into contact. He can't make a mid-range jump shot. All those mid-range, fadeaways, spin whatever shots he takes from the elbow that he always makes, he's missing them.
mhm.
Credit Andrew Wiggins and the Warriors; they're defending him well, but he still needs to be making these shots that are open. Like he's been unacceptably bad, and I personally think that's what cost the Celtics tonight. I know the turnovers were rough. Um, they had 15, and I know Jaylen Brown turned the ball over at the end of the game there, where Klay Thompson pressured him. I don't like look at that and think Jaylen, you have to be better. He got tripped up. He was getting pressured. Like that's tough. I look at that as a forced Golden State turnover rather than Jaylen Brown being sloppy. Jason Tatum has been awful. He is the reason they lost this game, in my opinion.
I think he was a big part of it, but I just think as a whole in the fourth quarter, it just wasn't good enough. Wasn't
Yeah,
good
I
enough.
mean,
And if
it
you
also
wanna give
didn't.
somebody a pass, you can give Jalen a pass because he was excellent for the
He
first
played
half
great.
of the quarter, but you kinda have to finish too. In just
No, yeah, yeah.
Tatum, definitely not good enough. He missed some big ones in the fourth quarter. Like you said, there's shots that aren't overly difficult. They're not shots he doesn't usually make. There was one that he got a pretty good look over Curry, and he didn't even hit the rim.
I
Like,
don't get
what
it,
are you
man.
doing? This is not the time to wilt. It's not. This is
Mhm,
where you make a name for yourself. This is where you cement yourself
mhm.
as a good player in this league to where people respect you. And he's not done that so far in the finals, and it's unfortunate. It's just I just can't get over the way they finished this game. I can't get over it.
Brutal.
It's like you said, "All right, go out there and do everything you did in the back end of 2021." I felt like I watched them lose to the Clippers in December again today.
Now, I'll say I don't think it was that bad. I mean, how many turnovers did they have in the fourth? They only had 3 turnovers in the fourth quarter,
How many
right? So
offensive rebounds did Golden State get in the fourth quarter?
6. That's an
That
area. I mean, that's an issue.
that's an issue. Those might as well be turnovers. Celtics took 7 straight threes down the stretch.
That's the other thing.
That
And
might as well be turnovers.
I
Like,
don't have an issue with most of the threes. I don't. I really don't because they got them the right way. Jaylen Brown drove, he kicked it out. They drove, they kicked it out. A couple Marcus ones you can argue about, and I won't push back because he took a couple silly ones, but for the most part, they just went cold. They were driving and getting open looks. Al Horford wasn't on from three. Marcus Smart wasn't on from three. Jason Tatum wasn't on from three. Jaylen Brown went cold from three. Like they were getting fine looks outside of maybe like one or two Marcus ones and maybe Jaylen Brown forced one. Most of the threes they got, in my opinion, in the fourth quarter were good looks. They just went cold. And unfortunately, as much as we're complaining about the Celtics, Stephen Curry was absolutely phenomenal. This was his best game of the series. Some of the shots he was making, there was absolutely nothing the Celtics could have done about it. Like that Derek White one, that was good defense. Steph just made it. The Jason Tatum one, I guess that was brutal, but he got back into play. Like he was just making the ridiculous Stephen Curry shots that you know him for, and that's unfortunate. They were right there. I'm not saying this is an excuse for them to lose the game. I'm just saying like you can't take away from what Steph Curry did. And Klay Thompson too. I mean, Klay Thompson had a good game in that fourth quarter. Andrew Wiggins was great. The Warriors did exactly what they needed to do. I mean, their offense was great. The Celtics just gave them too many opportunities to get into the flow of that offense by giving up an offensive rebound, by not getting back quick enough into transition. The Warriors push the pace great. They deserve all the credit. The Celtics have to be better in that spot. And I will stand by, I mean, we don't have to keep talking about him, but I'll stand by my position that Tatum lost in this game.
Yeah, well, I don't think it's unfair to say that. I just think there's a lot of things that they could have cleaned up and
There were
won
other things, of course,
despite
but
Tatum. But as far as the Warriors go, they did a great job of playing their game, especially in the fourth quarter. Curry
mhm.
got anything he wanted. He plays an extremely patient game. He just doesn't seem to force anything. The one thing I do have a problem with is dude falls down every time he takes the three. It's
That
bad.
is brutal.
They
That
need
is
to put an
frustrating.
end to this league wide. It's not just him. Tatum does it. Marcus does it. Brown got a 4-point play opportunity. I don't know if he made the shot or not. That shouldn't
He
have been a
didn't.
foul. So ball don't lie on that one. I mean, this is just ridiculous. It's ridiculous. If
Mhm.
you're not getting slapped on the arm shooting a three or hammered, it should not be a foul. In the explanation for that is one, your eyes should really be able to tell you if it's a foul. It shouldn't be guys having to sell contact on a three. You shouldn't be selling contact on a three. The point of a jump shot is that you're not really going into contact. It's different if you're driving to the basket.
Mhm.
And the referee shouldn't be buying this. And I'm really complaining more about the Brown three because I just couldn't believe that. And not only that,
Which
but then
one
you
was
have
it? Why am I forgetting? Are you
he went
talking
Clay fouled him. It was in the first half. He made it, and it would have been a 4-point play, but he missed. Clay closes out on Jaylen. His foot lands between Jaylen's feet. If he didn't hit him on, I think he might have hit him on the arm, in fairness to the
you don't
official.
think that was a foul?
I don't know if he hit him on the arm or not. If he hit him on the arm, it is.
He pressed into his body. That was the equivalent of the Al Horford on Stephen Curry play. It was the same play.
But I don't think either of those should be a foul.
I'm not arguing against that. I'm just saying if the Steph
And
Curry one
I really
is a
like
foul,
to
that's
harp
a
on
foul.
these when I see them happen in favor of the Celtics, so it doesn't come off as bias.
Yes.
Mark Jackson and Van Gundy were talking about the call, and I think it was Van Gundy was saying his foot landed dangerously close to Brown's feet. It didn't touch him. A
Yeah.
foul is not a foul if somebody is dangerously close to making contact. That's not a foul. He didn't make contact. Why?
I mean, neither did Al Horford. Stephen Curry jumped into contact, but that's another story.
He
That wasn't a
did.
foul.
I agree with both. I don't think either one should be a foul. And
Mhm.
the Curry one shouldn't have been a flagrant, never mind a foul at all. Right?
Yeah.
I'm just arguing it because this is an opportunity to do it in a non-biased way.
Yes. No, I understand.
And I hate that. And I hate that guys around the league are falling down, Curry falling down on a bunch of threes, flailing his arms. It's all ridiculous. He played an excellent game and he made and scored all those points
He was
without really
awesome. He
having to
was
get
great.
any poor calls. I really think the officiating wasn't bad tonight either. I don't
No.
know. And nobody should be complaining about that. The
The
problem
only
is
one that was really bad, and another unbiased moment, Peyton Pritchard absolutely traveled. He so very clearly traveled in
he
that first
he
half.
he traveled, but they called the foul on the shot. So the way they called this, it should have been a travel first. However, he might have traveled because he got bumped.
Maybe.
But that's about it. Again, the Celtics really lost this one for themselves. And I
True.
know there was a lot of things that Golden State did well, but despite all of that, they were in position to win this game and they didn't do it.
Absolutely.
And that's been kind of our thing throughout the playoffs. If you're there, win. And we've seen them not do that consistently.
Mhm.
They pissed away games. The Milwaukee series, specifically Game 5, they blew Game 6 against Miami, blew Game 3 against Miami. Like these things cannot happen. They can't continue to happen. They've been lucky to get away with it this far in the playoffs. Golden State's not a team that you can play around with.
No.
They've been here many times before, and they used that experience to calm themselves down when things got tough. And the Celtics didn't. This is something we talked about at halftime. We thought it would be the third quarter. It was not. The
Mhm.
Warriors did win the third quarter, but the Celtics did a great job at responding. Marcus
Stayed
Smart
in
had
it.
excellent third quarter, by the way.
In the fourth quarter, Golden State had as many offensive rebounds, 6, as Boston had total rebounds. So there's your stat of
Yeah,
the
you
night.
can't tell me that the Celtics didn't lose this game for themselves.
Well,
Regardless of anything on the other side, that alone right there tells you the effort was not there down the stretch. And you have to give credit to the Warriors. I don't want to.
they hustled. They got there.
Yeah, they have to put in the effort to make it to
And
expose this issue.
I think, and I'm not like making an excuse the offensive rebound. It's been a problem. It's continuing to be a problem. the Warriors did a great job of exposing the fact that Rob was constantly helping, and so they'd go down there. Draymond, give him credit. Wiggins, who ended with I think 16
He
rebounds
had
on
a
the night.
crazy amount of rebounds.
Yeah, they did a phenomenal job of attacking the Celtics when Rob wasn't in the paint, and I think that was their big adjustment for the game after Rob killed them down the stretch. So they deserve credit. Um, and I think as much as the rebounds and the turnovers hurt the Celtics, which they obviously did, they just went cold, man, down the stretch. Like they just went completely ice cold. Whether you want to say they were bad shots, good shots, I thought most of them were fine threes. Marcus Smart got the opportunities off the driving kick. Al Horford did as well. They just didn't make their 3-point shots, and that it hurt them.
They took too
And
many.
the Warriors did.
They took too many.
I
There
don't have
is
a problem with it.
well, we can disagree on this because I just
They took
I think
38. They took
no,
38.
it's not about that. It's about the fourth quarter specifically. They shot 13 threes in the fourth quarter. They took 21 total shots. That's
Well,
just not acceptable. It's not
in
acceptable.
fairness,
If you're not making threes and you've gone cold for a certain stretch of time, enough to where you've seen a lead pass you by, Golden State has taken control of the game. You need baskets. You need
they're
to
not
work.
making twos either. They can't make the twos either.
It's not
They're just
about
not.
It's not about that. It's about working to get better shots, and it doesn't feel like
I
that
thought
was
the
the
shots
case.
they took was good though. I thought
Was
they did work
every
to get
three
those
that they
threes.
took a bad shot? No. So, which I'm saying is,
I'll need to
you are
watch the
right
tape
in
again to
case,
see. Yes,
but they were not timely shots. There is a time for that, and there is a time for working and getting inside and trying to get something easy or
you want
get
to
fouled and get to the free throw line.
do something right now? What's the word? The NBA just released the videos. Let's watch the threes. So if you're listening on Spotify, feel free to jump over. It's like 17 minutes through, or maybe more like 16:30 because the beginning.
I'll try and talk.
Yeah, we'll narrate, but I can sort and we can watch the fourth quarter. Do you want to watch fourth quarter shots or threes? You want to just go threes for now?
Just go from like when they started sucking. Do that.
I
And
clicked
I'm going
on.
to tell you right now, even if it in the isolated sequence that we watched looks like a good shot, that doesn't mean it was timely. You have to read the situation. You are on the wrong end of a run. You need to work to get something easy. It doesn't mean it's not a good look per se, but in this situation, you've got to get something. You got to get something that's going to get somebody going. Brown did a great job in the first half of that quarter forcing the issue, and then it just stopped all around. There was less it felt like there was less movement off the ball, whatever. We can start this that way.
I understand. Also, side note,
I don't want to spend too much time on this just because it's not completely audio.
No, I mean they'll be able to hear it and stuff. My friend Harry, who doesn't watch basketball, just texted me, Jack, serious question. Does Jayson Tatum know how to play basketball in the fourth quarter, or does he just choose not to? Sick of watching NBA superstar and future Hall of Famer not put ball in hoop.
Yeah.
I mean, he
I
kind
agree.
of that code. All right, first three. Do you want to fast forward to
fast forward to when it got? I don't care about this because.
All right, that was a good three.
This is a good pass. Yeah. This is a good drive. Tatum drives from the top of the key, finds White wide open in the corner. When this play happened,
this one right here,
the one that you just played with Tatum driving.
Yes, the Tatum drive to White, good kick out. I didn't have a problem with this Tatum three. He got a fairly open. This was Tatum sidestep in the corner after the Warriors came off him a little bit. I didn't have a problem. This is Pritchard step out.
I didn't either.
I didn't mind this one.
Somebody should have been cutting to the basket, and it didn't happen.
Yeah,
and I think they got the rebound off that. So,
Derek White started to cut, but Pritchard was already in shooting motion. We're at 10-15
let's get later
now.
In the quarter.
Yeah, I didn't love this three. I hated that three. I know there were 6 seconds left, but Jaylen Brown pull up in somebody's face. Getting later in the quarter, that was
also pause it. I would love to know why these clowns would have Bielitsa on them and do nothing about it.
That was also very
Why
frustrating.
is this guy making any kind of impact in this series? He made an impact in game 2, and you lost that one. You let him make an impact tonight. Yep. What the hell's going on with that? You have him on you. You're settling for threes. Go around him. He's going to be the most unathletic looking guy on the floor. You have athletes on your team. Brown is a phenomenal athlete. Why are you not blowing past him? Make him work. You're just letting them get away with having that guy on the floor and doing nothing about it. taking step back threes. Go around him. Go through him.
Yeah, no, I mean, the Bjelica thing was brutal. I took the video off the screen for a sec so we could talk about it. They just like settled. I mean, that's been the biggest thing throughout the postseason for them on offense is they revert back to this isolation heavy, settle based offense. That's not a real term, but they just stop attacking. And I thought that happened a lot in game 2. That offense went stagnant. They just settled for mismatch. And I wrote about that. I wrote about how they'd get
Yeah.
Bjelica or Looney on them. And instead of attacking and going around them, they'd settle for trying to draw a foul, or they'd settle for taking a turnaround mid-range jump shot, or they just weren't taking the right shots once they got the mismatch. And I think that's something that doesn't get talked about enough because you think, oh, they got the mismatch. It was a decent look. No, I mean, you got to
No.
do more when you get that. You got to do more.
And
All right.
to further that and to kind of
Yes.
apply it to what I'm complaining about and why we're watching these threes is there is a time to take certain shots. And like you said, when you have Bjelica on you, you shouldn't be settling. When you are struggling and you're ice cold and you're watching the opposing team build a lead and build momentum, you need to work to get something to stop the run.
Yes.
All right.
I agree. All right. Back to the threes. This one I thought was all right. 5:29 left. Okay, I'll try to narrate for you guys listening on Spotify and Apple Podcasts and all that, but feel free to watch on YouTube if you want to watch with the video as well. Jayson Tatum posting up Andrew Wiggins, kicks it to Marcus Smart inside. Jayson Tatum gets the ball back, kicks it back out to Marcus Smart. Shot clock winding down. You had to take the shot, and he made it. Right.
Okay, so this may be one of the last good threes they took.
I didn't know because I know specifically there are some coming up that I didn't know. 4:17 left in the game. Robert Williams has the ball at the top of the key. Jaylen Brown comes up on the wing, takes a pull up in Andrew Wiggins' face and brick off.
That shot is pretty fine, and I'll tell you
Mhm.
why. At the time, Jaylen Brown had been at this point they have lost the lead.
Yes, they had. But it's a relatively open shot. I mean, Wiggins he doesn't even get a late. I mean, he gets a very late contest.
Jaylen Brown had been the best player in the fourth quarter. He is allowed to take this shot, and it was a set play for it. Fine.
Yes.
Fine.
Okay.
After this is where you start saying, all right, we're now down.
Also, ESPN's got to quit it with these angles. I don't want to watch basketball.
I agree. Let me complain about this. They have been broadcasting basketball games for probably not 75 years. The greater part of 75 years. They have used the broadcast camera angle for all of that time. There is no need to reinvent the wheel. Nobody wants to watch games on this stupid wire cam. Just use the regular camera. I don't know why people at ESPN, I don't even think TNT does this.
No, it's just ESPN, I think.
Why do they feel the need to do this?
Very weird. I don't like it.
It's not like you're getting paid money to do this. You're spending more money to do this.
It's too much. I don't like it at all. All right. Jaylen Brown has the ball on the wing, gets it out, kicks it to the top of the key to Jayson Tatum. I don't hate this shot, but you could have worked for a better one.
Let's see.
Like, he kicks it to the top of the key. Jayson Tatum has Wiggins on him again, who gets a decent contest. But Tatum hasn't been on.
Tatum hasn't. This is a bad shot. Tatum hasn't been on. You've just given up a 7-0 run. You have 8 seconds left on the shot clock to create something. That's a third of the shot clock, even though 8 seconds doesn't necessarily sound like a lot. In basketball, half-court offense, it is. Also,
if I had a choice,
if he drives this with Wiggins closing out, you're going to have, who is that? Curry.
Derek White.
Curry is going to be the defender on the drive. You're going to have him collapse. You can get a better three-pointer, even though I don't love shooting threes in these situations.
Derek White and or Al Horford would have been wide open.
Derek White, 100%. Who has been good shooting the three today, will probably be wide open. This is poor.
This is a bad three. I'll give you that. This was a bad three by Tatum. All right, here we got 2:50 left. Warriors up by 3, 97.
Mind you, they have gotten stop after stop at this point.
Yes, Celtics
and they have not done anything to take the lead. All right, go ahead.
Yes. Jaylen Brown, 9 seconds left on the shot clock. Jaylen Brown dribbling at the top of the key. Klay Thompson on him. Kicks it out. Marcus Smart. I didn't have a huge problem with this three.
That's fine.
He kicked it out to Marcus Smart. with around, excuse me, 4 seconds left on the shot clock. Draymond got a fine contest, but that's still a shot Marcus Smart can make. It was a good driving kick. That's getting a three the right way. That's one of the one I was talking about when I said they got a three the right way. Can you hear the audio, by the way? Is the audio playing
I
through?
can hear it. Yeah.
All right, perfect. All right. 2:41 left in the game. 11 seconds left on the shot clock. Still 97-94. Neither team has scored. Celtics got another stop. Like Sam was talking about. Derek White drives in. Al Horford gets the ball on the corner. Jayson Tatum drives in from the wing. Marcus Smart gets a shot on the wing. Draymond Green gets a contest on him. Marcus misses off back iron. I didn't have a huge problem with this one either. You could probably work to get a better shot, but it was a drive and kick. This is the shots they work for.
I think they need, at this point, they needed to calm down. I think this is 4 in a row they'd missed with the one that he missed on this same possession. This is also partly on Ime.
Yeah, he deserves some.
They should have run something to get a look inside at this point.
I think at this point,
every 3 after this one is probably going to be a bad one.
I think there's one more that I remember in my head that I think was a decent look. And I think it was Al Horford. Marcus Smart, I'm just describing for the people on audio. Marcus Smart gets a shot on the wing with Green on him. Green is committed to the shot. I think if Marcus Smart pump fakes this, drives around Green, Wiggins would switch on to Smart and Tatum would get an open three at the top of the key. Do you see what I'm seeing, Sam? Like, you got to work for the little things. Like, if he had pump faked here, driven around Green, had Wiggins pick him up, kick it out to Tatum. It's little things. I don't think this is a terrible, terrible shot, but you could have worked for a better one with 7 seconds left on the clock.
Yeah.
All right. Still 2 minutes left. Still 97-94. Still getting stops. Still have yet to score. This is a 2-minute drought at this point for both teams. The Celtics have yet to take advantage of. Excuse me. 17 seconds left on the shot clock. Essentially a full shot clock by the time you get to the half court. Jaylen Brown dribbling on Klay Thompson on the wing. Drives past him.
He should have taken the shot right there. Hold on. So Jaylen crosses back at the elbow, has an opening, and doesn't take the shot.
Does he? No, he does not.
No, that's not it. Right here.
Right there.
Right there. He's open. He has been money on that shot throughout the playoffs. That is a shot he should have taken.
Yeah, okay. I'll give you that. He could have had an open mid-range. I still don't have a problem with the 3 they got out of this, though. I don't have a problem with this. They drive in, draws 2, Looney collapses. Al Horford gets an open 3, top of the key. He's been money. He's been money the playoffs. That's an open 3 for Al Horford.
I usually don't have any. The situation. See, that's what the problem with what we're doing. The situation calls for harder work than is being done. Is that a good shot? Sure. Look at how Looney's closing out on Horford. Look at this. Mm-hmm. And if you are listening right now, Looney looks like he's flailing.
He's desperately trying to get back out to Horford.
He is not in an athletic position. He is not someone that is typically defending the perimeter. Horford is good on the pump fake and drive. This is a situation where he should be driving. He should be driving the closeout.
I didn't have a problem with the shot still. It was still a good 3. They got it the right way. I understand the situation.
It's the wrong time.
I don't think that matters for me. I think if you work to get a good look and it's a look you are normally comfortable with, I think you have to take it. I have no problem with the shot because you don't know if you're going to get a better shot. And you can work for it, but there's no guarantee. This is a good shot. We can disagree. I think this is fine. Horford ends up with an open 3 at the top of the key. 12 seconds left on the shot clock.
In the situation, it's not a good look.
Okay.
It's not a good decision in the situation.
Okay.
Does it mean it's a bad shot if it's any random point in the game? If this is isolated in a bottle? No. Is that a fine look? Yes. Knowing that they missed 5 straight threes at this point, it's a bad idea.
Okay.
Overall.
Okay.
Overall, it's a bad idea.
We can agree to disagree. I think we generally disagree on that. Okay. Warriors got a 3. It is 100-94. It's the next Celtics possession. 18 seconds left on the shot clock. Marcus Smart just passed the ball into Jayson Tatum at the free throw line. Tatum pump fakes, drives past Wiggins, kicks it to Horford in the corner, who gets another open 3 in the corner. I'm pretty sure he hits this one. Nails the 3.
So
I think that's similar. I think
this is a good shot in the situation because there is now dwindling time in the game. There's only a minute and a half left.
I think that's the same shot as the last possession. It's the same look.
No, I'm not saying the shot. I'm saying the situation's different. You have a minute and a half left. You're now down 6. You just gave up a 3 to Curry. This is an important possession where, from a coaching perspective, you probably have to go for a 3 here.
Okay.
That's how I feel. And
I
I
think
also
this was
think that this look is better because
it's the corner. It's a better
Tatum
look.
has one, it's the corner. Horford's been good from the corner. 2, Tatum has sealed Looney when
Looney.
he makes this pass.
Yes, he has. He
So
cuts him off.
he gets a completely wide open look. This was fine.
I think this is very similar to the previous possession. I understand the gripe you had with the last one because, you're still down 3. You can work for a slightly better look. I think these are very, very similar situations. Obviously,
I
you'd
do.
rather take a shot in the corner from the top of the key. That's fine. We can disagree. I think those are similar looks. I didn't have a problem with either of them.
At that point in the game,
I
you're more
think,
desperate. And from
yeah.
that shot on, it doesn't matter. Because at this
Okay.
point they've turned the ball over and then they didn't get a stop. So
Yeah.
we can start.
Yeah, I mean the threes
This
are
is just
fine.
desperate.
That was the last 3 they took of the game. For the most part, I didn't have a problem with any of those threes. Like I said, there were 1 or 2 that I had a problem with, but most of them they got good looks. And even you, like there were only 2 you really complained about a lot, right? Like like I said, I don't think the threes in the fourth quarter were awful, but they just went cold at the wrong time. Conversely, Stephen Curry got hot, Klay Thompson got hot. Warriors made some shots, and it just went downhill, man. It was a perfect storm. The turnovers from throughout the game caught up on you. The rebounding killed you. Andrew Wiggins, Draymond Green fought on the glass, and the Celtics just excuse me, couldn't keep up. It was brutal. It was the perfect storm of Warriors playing good and Celtics not being able to make shots. And we looked at the threes. The 2-pointers have been the key for the series for me so far. Like they can't get anything inside, specifically Tatum. And I feel like I'm gonna get shit on for picking on him so much, but he's just been absolutely awful inside the 3-point line. Like he hasn't been able to make a shot. He's been missing layups. He's been flailing, trying to draw contact. And is there contact on some of them? Sure, but you can't like depend on that. You have to go strong to the basket and you have to make those shots. You keep thinking, oh, he's due for a Tatum game. He's due for a Tatum game, and it's just not coming. Like it hasn't come so far. Jaylen Brown was great. I mean, the first half, he's phenomenal. Like if they win this series, he has to be the MVP unless something drastic happens for Tatum because the Tatum's 2-point shooting for me right now is defining the series because it's been that bad.
Yeah, there were stretches in the Miami series where he made some real big shots from 2-point land, right? Especially in game 7, made a couple big mid-range jumpers in the fourth quarter. And that has opened things up for the offense. So that definitely has impacted their ability to win these games. Sometimes you can't control if the ball's going in. Sometimes you can't.
Explain.
And sometimes you're just off. Right?
But
Now,
for 4 games in a row?
that's not an excuse for him for the whole series.
Okay.
I'm talking
Yes.
about solely today.
Okay.
Because and listen, I'm not deflecting the blame from Tatum. He was not good today. You are correct.
Yeah.
I'm only kind of changing the subject because I can't really argue with you. I don't have anything to argue with you about. I don't think he was very good either. The problem to me is just, man, despite all of that, you gave up offensive rebounds down the stretch. You took these threes that some of them we thought were bad. I thought a lot more were bad than you did. It's just like read the situation better. It reminded me of when they lost game 7 to Cleveland in 2018. The fourth quarter in that game felt similar to this game where you had control of it to an extent. The lead wasn't super big, but you didn't execute down the stretch and the opposing team took advantage of it. And it's been the same story this whole season for the most part, really. You haven't won too many close games. You haven't been consistently successful down the stretch of really any games. It's just from watching it at home, knowing the situation, knowing that if you win that game, you have a commanding lead over the series. And you just make like silly mistakes down the stretch, whether you think those threes are mistakes or you don't. The giving up of offensive rebounds before you gave up the lead to Wiggins. Wiggins had, I think, 2 in a row where he scored and put it back. to kickstart the run in the fourth quarter for them.
Tatum was great. I'm sorry, Wiggins was great. Wiggins was great in that game. You got to give him good credit.
He
It was
was good. He
brutal.
played good defense,
Mhm.
made some big shots, obviously had those big putbacks. That is what I'm talking about, though. In this game, you don't even have to look in the fourth quarter. There were so many situations similar to that where they had an opportunity to put the game further out of reach or further away from Golden State. Out of reach kind of means it's over. To grow your lead, and you didn't do it. You didn't do it. You didn't execute in the key moments of this game throughout. There aren't key moments in a game just in the fourth quarter. They are sprinkled throughout, and Golden State won probably all of them. It felt like.
I agree. Also, Ime Udoka is clearly listening to the podcast from the future. Said he thinks Jason Tatum is quote unquote going hunting for fouls a little too much. He's not wrong. Like he just goes in there, he tries to find contact rather than just trying to make the shot. That's been my biggest gripe with him throughout his career, I guess, at this point. Like it's brutal. Jalen does it too, but Jalen stopped doing it lately. He's just being aggressive. Jason Tatum, he still tries to get the foul rather than just make the shots. And it's brutal. Also, it sucks because I think it would have helped. Rob not being there down the stretch hurt them. Not saying it's why they lost the game. Sucks that he got hurt because he was so good. He was so impactful for the whole game. And then I
Yep.
didn't. Did you see what happens? I didn't even see
No,
what
I
happened.
didn't see what happened, but to kind of piggyback on that, you kind of wasted a Rob game. you know, if you really want to like add to the misery, you wasted a game where Rob played real well for most of it. And where he looked healthy. And now you have to travel again. He has to get on a plane. They fly across the country. How will he feel on Monday? You're going to hear all these things over the weekend.
Yeah.
You, plain and simple, you should have just taken care of business today. You should have. It
Mhm.
feels like Game 6 against Miami last series. Does it mean the series is over? No. It's best of three. It's always been good on the road all postseason. Don't worry about it. But this team loves making it difficult. They love it. They hate winning easy. They do. It's almost like they're training for something greater than this, and they're like, nah, no easy shortcuts, no shortcuts. Always gonna do the last set at the gym. Like it feels like that's what they're doing to themselves. For what? For what?
Yeah. And I mean, when you let Steph Curry grab, how many rebounds did he have in the game? He
He had
had
10. He had not eight, at least nine.
Steph Curry had 10 rebounds, 2
Yeah.
offensive, 8 defensive. That's just I mean, it's brutal. It's it's brutal. They had 39 rebounds in the game, 16 offensive rebounds. That's rough.
That's
It's
ridiculous.
very rough.
In a game
And
where you
again,
lost in the end, you lost by 10, but you really lost by 5 or
yeah, however many. It's
you can't
brutal.
be doing that, man.
And
Like,
the free throws too, we'll wrap back around.
I
It's
keep forgetting about that. That's the most infuriating part because I can tell you, hey, I can do that. I can make free throws. I don't know how confident you are, but I know I can make free throws. Make
Mhm.
them. Well, Sam,
And
you're not in the NBA Finals. No, I'm not. I'm sitting here at home. But I can tell
that's a
you,
fair argument. It's a valid
I
counter.
know that I can physically do that thing that I'm seeing
Yeah.
them fail to do.
Mhm. Mhm.
And it is
And do you know
extremely
what else you can do,
frustrating.
Sam? I mean, maybe not on the level, but you can box out, you can
No,
hustle,
I
you
don't know if
can
I'm boxing out Draymond.
no, okay,
But
yeah, that's why I said not the level, but my point is, like you always tell me, control the things you can control,
yes,
man. The Celtics can
that's the
hustle,
key, man, and they
the
didn't
Celtics
do
can
it
take care of
today.
the ball. Yes, 100%.
Sometimes
Marcus Smart,
you can't control if that ball's falling. If you can't control if your shot's falling. Some days
yeah,
it's just not your day. In a vacuum, not thinking about the rest of the series. Today
I
was one of
understand.
those days for Tatum. Despite all of that, they were still in the game and they let it slip away. They not only were they in the game, they were ahead in the fourth quarter by 5 points.
They weathered that third quarter storm so well, so well. I
That
was
too.
very impressed because I knew it was coming. I told you it was coming. Marcus Smart after the game also said, he was asked about what the Celtics are telling Tatum. He said, "We're all telling him we trust you and we believe in you. Jason has to figure it out. He will." Um, it sounds like Tatum knows that he's off, so you'd have to hope or expect that he'll be back eventually. Um, and again, I'm gonna wrap back around to this. us complaining about the Celtics and us criticizing Celtics takes nothing away from Stephen Curry. He deserves all the praise he gets. He won the Warriors this game. He has been by far and away the best player in this series. He's the best shooter of all time for a reason. Like he's amazing, and you're getting a firsthand look at how difficult it is to guard him effectively. And I thought the Celtics guarded him pretty well for the most part in this one, but he was just finding ways. Man, he had what 41 points, right? Like he highest scoring game of the series, 43 points, 10 rebounds, 4 assists. He was great. Steph Curry was great.
He
And
was great.
again, if it means anything to take solace in, so tonight's not awfully shitty. The Celtics haven't lost 2 in a row during
Mm.
the playoffs so far. They have not. Has not happened. And if you look at the pattern, that means it's really good they won game 1.
Yes. And just to go back to Curry, I in the threes in general for Golden State, I think there were a lot of times in this game that the Celtics did a good job defending him and the other shooters. However, there were a lot of times at untimely moments where they had defensive lapses on the perimeter. Do you agree?
The Celtics?
Yes.
Of course, they have the whole series. There have been
I
defensive
I
lapses, of
just
course.
don't get how you can play the Warriors, who for the last 6 years have been known for making threes and not be better at guarding it. Now, you
They're
could say
exposing it really well.
they
I mean,
are.
yeah.
There's
Yes.
effort into that on both sides. But it's
Yes.
just so funny to me, like
I completely
in
understand. Yeah.
just such timely situations, they give up a three. And
Yeah.
it's not even like a contested three. It's like somebody's on the other side of a screen, whether it's Horford. There was one where Clay got one and Brown was the guy in drop coverage. And they're just not up close enough on these shooters. And I don't get it.
Yes. I agree, and I know Jordan Poole didn't make a bunch of his shots, but they didn't play him correctly either. Like they're
No.
just dropping. I know you
Jordan
don't like
Poole
that, but
isn't doing anything if they're not up 20.
that's fair. Yeah, no, they're all over the place. It's brutal. You really wanted that one. It's just ugly. But anyways, anything else you want to say before we get on out of here?
No. I I've been going all day. I would have really liked to see him win today. They didn't do it. And it's just I don't know. I'd rather see you lose like you did in game 2
Yeah,
than
yeah,
just have the game in your hand and say, "Here you go. Here you go." And there are people that are going to listen to this and disagree and think that they did everything they could and uh listen, I don't agree. I think they had control of this and they didn't properly handle it. You disagree with the threes. I think after a while you have to recognize, hey, this isn't the time for this. And I'll give you an example on that to wrap this up. In game 3, Golden State flies back into the game after being down 18 in the third quarter. Curry makes a three to put him up 1. Then, oddly enough, Marcus does make a three, but it's a good three, like one of the threes early in our review, right? They have not just had an avalanche of missed threes. It's a different situation.
yeah,
Marcus makes a three from the corner. Then the next offensive possession, Tatum comes down and works, gets inside and draws a shooting foul. Not just they were in the bonus foul. He's going up and he gets to the line, makes 2 free throws. That's the kind of thing they should have started working towards when they realized they ain't got it from 3. And to not see that happen was kind of frustrating.
yeah. No, I mean I completely understand that. It's
But we,
tough. It
we
was a
can
tough.
wrap.
Like I said, I think it was the perfect storm of Celtics missing shots, going cold, and the Warriors just heating up at their time. And I'm gonna keep saying it, credit to the Warriors. I don't want this to sound like the Warriors didn't deserve to win. They executed down the stretch and that won them the game, so they deserve the credit. But anyways, thank you guys so much for listening. We appreciate it. Hopefully you like that little film study segment we kind of did in the middle there. Maybe we'll
I
do it
hope you
more in
didn't
a few
hate it.
respond
We
one.
tried our
Yeah, I
best.
mean, I think we narrated it well for the people on the audio feeds. And if you wanted to watch it, head on over to YouTube, Bannertown USA or Guy Boston Sports on YouTube. You'll see the podcast there. But yeah, thank you guys so much for tuning in. We always appreciate it, and I'll throw it over to Sam.
Yeah, thank you guys very much for listening or watching. If you're watching, you're probably on Guy Boston or Bannertown on YouTube. If you are, make sure you subscribe, leave a like so you don't miss any of the new podcasts. If you're listening over on Spotify, Apple, or wherever else you might be listening, make sure you follow the pod so you get all the newest updates just in case they don't get tweeted out. However, they have been consistently been tweeted out ever since we made the @From
Woo!
Rafters Pod Twitter account. It's been an excellent adjustment from Jack. Uh, but if you don't just want the pods from us, you can follow Jack at Jack1NBA. He's writing a ton all the time. You can follow me at Sam LaFrance NBA for me to complain on Twitter about you know, all kinds of stuff. But I wrote a
Sam
couple articles to preview these last two
writing
games.
previews on ABC6. I was just gonna say that. Check
Starting
them
to,
out.
begin rehab for writing after being out of the game for a while. We'll see. We'll see. It's been fun. It's weird though, writing. I always just feel like I'm not doing enough, but whatever. Anyways, that's our show for today. Bye. That's enough. Go enjoy the rest of your day. Don't be miserable.
Tic tac